Hey everyone, we are back with another update, and by we, of course, I mean with me as always is Corey. Say hi, Corey.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Let's dive right in. So the first thing is the guys at Neofid did get Gareth, the second playable character on the Megadrive version, very largely functional based on the temporary sprite sheet I gave them and the overall design, all working quite nicely in level 1. So for the first time just earlier today, I was able to play through the first level and really get a feel for things and how they need to be tweaked. And in the very near future, probably today or tomorrow, Corey and I will review that and come up with our list of tweaks and changes that either need to be made on the art side or, more importantly, the actual controls and timing and gameplay side. So the next thing we did is we got level 2's environment very nicely working. That was one technical thing we had to figure out, how to really make the snow in that level look great based on what's actually possible on the Mega Drive. And between Corey's great work and Neofid's great work on the programming, it's running silky smooth. Hopefully, future me will have spliced in actual footage of the Mega Drive version at work. So that's looking great and fitting in memory and all that stuff and performing very nicely. And the last complicated thing for level 2 was the sub-boss fight at the end of the level, and they also got that about 90% working already. And speaking of sub-bosses, we also got the sub-bosses for levels 3 and 4 fully designed gameplay-wise and working with placeholder art. So we're going to be able to start making the real art for those really soon. And then also for level 3, the actual full boss fight is also about 90% functional, and I'll be reviewing that very soon with Corey as well. So then in the near future, we can do the art for that.
And as far as the art for Mega Drive, the conversion that I've been doing, the levels 1 and 2 art in terms of the gameplay are completely Mega Drive-ized, so to speak, made compatible with the palette system we've set up and everything. And along the way, there's still those touch-ups being made. I think I redesigned the ice block in level 2, little things like that. Anywhere where I can find a quick way to make things look a little more attractive, I'm doing that. And this includes the level 1 boss art. While the boss isn't fully working on Mega Drive yet, things are functional in terms of the modular system used to make him work. And the art itself has been worked out to look as good as possible. And, I guess slightly upgraded a little bit too. I did touch up the pieces on him.
That's what I was going to say. I can vouch Corey's too humble, but it's really cool to see the art getting ported and made to perfectly work on Mega Drive, but also upgraded. Sometimes when you're porting to a specific system, concessions might have to be made, but every step of the way, Corey is taking his time and making sure it's putting as best use of the hardware as possible, and some stuff is actually looking quite a bit nicer than it already was, so that's really awesome. And as Corey had mentioned, especially for the bosses, but for some of the sub-bosses too, to get like just the highest quality, we need to use what's called modular animation. That's all already mostly working and actually being upgraded as we speak to just really make it very efficient and fast and easy for us to not only make the bosses as cool and as well animated as possible, but to also be able to iterate and improve the gameplay very easily. So that's all also going very
we
smoothly.
wanted, part of these early efforts were to get a clear development pipeline. So
exactly.
From what we're doing, the way we're building this in Construct, and anything we have to make with Spriter, and having the ability to take that right in and it function relatively the same way. Obviously, occasionally we may have to optimize something or this, that, and the other for memory purposes.
So as Corey was saying, it's critical when you're not just building a game, but building your first game ever on a particular system or with a particular engine. Ironing out your workflow and tool chain is critical because it can make a massive difference to the overall finished quality of the game you can get to by the time you reach the deadline. So that's all going smoothly basically is the point there. And then finally, that's about it for the actual game progress, but on the side of the actual deliverables, the printed goods that have to go along with it, we have made some decent progress getting started on the actual printed manual that'll come with the game, figuring out what needs to be on which pages and in what order, starting to write that actual text, starting to get the graphics ready to kind of go along with that text, and all that's going very smoothly. And then there's the 6 collectible trading cards that are going to come in every physical version of DaemonClaw, and I made some more progress on that, and I just finally found the perfect expert. We wanted from day one to make it so that these collectible cards with characters from the game are compatible with a certain popular existing card game system. And the problem was, I knew about that. I've had friends in the past that have played it, but I never played it myself. And I was able to find someone who's like been playing it for decades, probably, certainly many years, who is very willing and interested in helping us make sure that that aspect of the cards is also kind of up to snuff and actually, you know, fun and usable and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and one last thing, going back to the game, actually, there is the other things that we wanted to get finished pretty quickly to get sort of current, what you would call vertical slice or playable demo of the Megadrive version polished up as quickly as possible, is the splash screen and then the intro cinematics and this screen as well, which is the transition screen where there's usually a border and text under there. And in here is the hero usually walking through whatever environment, getting to the next one. But so Corey has already gotten the vast majority of the work done on the splash screen and main menu, and he'll be moving on to the intro cinematic graphics. And in the meantime, I'm going to be making sure this is properly formatted to work with the Megadrive color palette, and specifically 416 color palettes, and also can work with the combination of the two, they're called play fields, the 2 layers of scrolling, and whatever sprites I want to use as well. So that's going to be the next graphical task on our end. And after that, especially Corey, but me as sort of a backup artist, so to speak, is to get the new graphics for those things I mentioned, like the sub bosses we just added gameplay wise, and the level 3 boss, all that stuff. Or actually, I should say the level 2 boss comes first. From the graphical end of things, that's what we'll be working on next. So that's pretty much it for this update, though. As always, thanks very much for watching, and we'll be back soon.
If you enjoy our content and want to keep up to date on our games, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you want to support our projects, consider becoming a patron. The link's in the description, and we'll see you soon.